Welcome back to Boxonic, where boxing meets bold opinions. And today, we dive into the controversy surrounding Manny Pacquiao's shocking return to the ring at 46.
And that could happen in boxing. We've seen this. Manny Pacquiao isn't immune to this. He's been knocked out. He's been hit. He's not Floyd, who has been hardly hit. Like, he's been knocked out cold.
Entitle you to just walk back in after 6 years and get a number 4 ranking with the WBC and fight for a world title. What about all the other guys that are waiting around? It's wrong. We seen Manny Pacquiao fight.
You don't throw punches, man. He said it ain't about how many, it's about the right time. Well, there was no right time against Pacquiao.
Stephen A. Smith doesn't hold back when talking to Manny Pacquiao about his comeback at 46. He firmly believes Manny is well past his prime and says this fight just shouldn't happen. In Smith's eyes, throwing punches at that age is dangerous and could easily lead to a knockout because the body just can't keep up like it used to.
Bad. I really, really do. And you got to remember, when you get up there in age, when you go down like that, there's a lot of collateral damage that could potentially come with.
Veteran boxing analysts are sounding alarms over Manny Pacquiao's return to the ring at 46, especially against a younger, active fighter like Mario Barrios. After 5 years out of action, Pacquiao's reflexes, stamina, and ability to take hits have likely declined. Doctors who specialize in combat sports warn that older fighters face higher risks of brain injuries and take much longer to heal. And this isn't just an exhibition. It's a real title fight. The physical toll could leave permanent damage, especially for a legend whose body has already been through decades of war inside the ropes.
Because what's the worst case scenario? Someone gets seriously hurt. Someone has life-altering injuries, and that could happen in boxing. We've seen this. Manny Pacquiao isn't immune to this. He's been knocked out. He's been hit. He's not Floyd, who has been hardly hit. Like, he's been knocked out cold. I thought when he got knocked out by Marquez, I thought he died. It was that scary. Yeah. Remember that one? So
I do.
Ultimately, I'm most surprised that if it hasn't been officially announced, if it lands in Nevada or California, I'll be very surprised and dare I say.
Former champion Ricky Hatton doesn't seem amazed. He seems concerned. He questioned why Pacquiao would dive straight into a title fight without any warm-up bouts. Hatton pointed out that modern boxing is full of unpredictable outcomes, making this move even riskier. While he showed respect for Pacquiao's legacy, his comments suggested that maybe this comeback isn't about passion. It might be about pressure from somewhere else.
WBC title, a number of years out of the ring. What do you make of it?
Well, one, I hope he doesn't get hurt. I think there's every chance he could do. Secondly, I think how has he got to a world title shot? 5th in the world, imagine if he was number 1 and 2 in the division and trained all your life to get there, and then Manny comes in, been retired 5 years and or whatever it is, and goes into number 5 in the division. Boxing these days.
While most of the spotlight is on Pacquiao, more and more people are questioning Mario Barrios too. Taking on a 46-year-old who hasn't fought in 5 years is raising eyebrows. Experts argue this isn't about skill. It's a lopsided matchup. Barrios could have picked fighters in their prime from his own division. Beating Pacquiao under these conditions won't earn him much respect or boost his rank. It just feels off.
Mario Barrios and Manny Pacquiao are in talks for the WBC welterweight title fight. They want to do it in Vegas. Pacquiao is 45 and hasn't competed since August 2021 in a decision loss. Mario Barrios is definitely trying to stat pad at this point. In a stacked welterweight division, you can fight Crawford. If you don't want to fight someone who's coming off a W, fight Spence Jr. Go fight Jaron or Stanius, Fight one of the top 4 fighters. You're ranked top 5 and you want to fight Manny Pacquiao. That's stat padding. That shouldn't even count as a win. And I love Manny Pacquiao, but in his prime, he would definitely be Mario Barrios, but it's past his prime. Hasn't fought in 3 years, is 45 years old. It's time to hang it up, bud. I will say, though, if he somehow miracle pulls it off, it'll be the greatest win, I think.
Shane Mosley gave props to Manny Pacquiao for being one of boxing's all-time greats. He praised his heart, toughness, and the incredible journey that's inspired fans worldwide. But Mosley didn't sugarcoat reality. He reminded everyone that aging is unforgiving. In boxing, speed, timing, and stamina fade, often without warning. Drawing from his own career, Mosley said getting older doesn't just slow a fighter down. It changes how they react when the pressure's on.
Manny Pacquiao coming inducted into the Hall of Fame next month.
Oh, yeah.
What is your take on that, having to share the ring with him?
It was a great time training with him. Like I said, I was injured when I fought him, but it was just good. It was good, but nothing great. And now he's very sharp, very strong, and it's so real.
What's your take on him fighting Mr. Mario Lario's next? I think that was July.
You sometimes can be hard on you, but we'll see what Manny can do as far as the training and stuff to be able to keep up Mario. So, if anybody can do it, maybe Manny can. I don't know.
There's no denying Manny Pacquiao's legendary status. He's the only fighter ever to win titles in 8 weight classes. From poverty to superstardom, his story is the stuff of legends. But it's exactly because of this iconic journey that fans and experts are worried. They say he's already done it all. There's nothing more to prove. Coming back now, after years away, risks not only his health, but the clean ending his career once had.
Common sense, like being a world champion means you are the best in the world. You are the champion of this world at your weight class. We all know right now, at least to me, it's common knowledge that's Jaron Boots Ennis. At 147, he is the best in the world. But he doesn't hold all 4 belts, so he is only one of the 2 or 3, I guess now, world champions. Doesn't make sense to me, and especially when now you're the WBC and you're like, yeah, let's bring in Manny Pacquiao to potentially win a world championship. And let's say he pulls it off by some miracle. Are we going to put Manny Pacquiao in there with Boots Ennis? Is that what we're going to do? I hope not. And again, this is not me trying to be a hater. It's just, I don't want to see Manny get hurt. And Barrios, not the biggest puncher in the world, but he can hurt it badly. He is a volume puncher, and he will be in there against a guy that, again, isn't a natural 147. Even if he finished his career at 147, that's not where Manny was his best self. He's definitely going to be at a massive size disadvantage here. Height, reach, everything. Again, when Manny was in his prime, or, honestly, when he was still in his late 30s and early 40s before he retired, he could have handled that. His speed was still there. The consistency was still there. He wasn't running for political office and doing all this other stuff and taking time off. We see this time and time again. When a boxer retires, takes a long time off, and then comes back, it usually, again, outside of George Foreman, rest in peace to the GOAT, it usually doesn't go well. And I don't think this is going to either. And it's clear to me that this is done for, a staging of an event versus the actual competitive nature of the fight. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong and that Manny still has it, but I'm just going to go with what makes the most sense. The WBC and whoever they partner with on this is going to try to sell tickets off of it. Okay, that's fine, but what's the point of the belt?
As fight night gets closer, the noise in boxing circles is growing. Analysts are raising red flags about Pacquiao's age, ring rust, and the power of his opponent. A dangerous mix. Some are even calling on bodies like the WBC to step in and reevaluate whether this fight should happen. Their fear isn't just about Pacquiao losing, it's the possibility of a violent knockout that could leave long-term damage.
So Manny Pacquiao's gonna get knocked out by Mario Barrios. And I get it, Mario Barrios is far from a good fighter. Mario Barrios is one of the worst champions in all of boxing, but Manny Pacquiao is so old, bro. I think a lot of you guys forget Manny Pacquiao fought last year and he arguably lost to a Muay Thai kickboxer dude. This dude wasn't even a boxer. Yes, he was really big, but the dude was just not a boxer. Honestly, I think the WBC should call this fight off. I think it's not too late to kind of go back on your word and let's call this one off. This fight should not be sanctioned by anybody. This fight should not be allowed. At least Mario Barrios should be stripped of his WBC title for defending it against a 46-year-old. Is there a slim chance Manny Pacquiao is able to outmaneuver him and maybe outpoint him, punch, around him? Yeah, maybe. But realistically, it won't happen. But if he does, I think it will solidify him as the greatest boxer of all time. No questions about it. I think if he does win this fight, it would put him clearly over Ali, Ray Robinson, Ray Leonard, and Floyd Mayweather. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts on how y'all feel about it.
This comeback isn't getting the usual fanfare, it's getting backlash. Unlike celebrity bouts that are clearly just for show, Pacquiao's return is for a real title. That's what's bothering boxing purists. They argue it lowers the sport's standards, putting spectacle and profit ahead of fairness and skill. People are comparing it to Tyson versus Paul, but critics say at least that was marketed as entertainment, not a serious championship fight.
It's 100% disrespectful. This is a clown fight. This is a more clown fight than the Jake Paul Mike Tyson. This is an outrage. People should be up in arms about this fight. This is so disrespectful. Barrios loses this fight. He should quit boxing. You let Manny Pacquiao, an old dude who stopped boxing, and then you're his first fight back. You are disrespectful as a champ.
Carl Frampton, never one to mince words, called the fight a bad move by everyone involved. He couldn't believe a legend like Pacquiao would come back under these circumstances, suggesting the motivation might not be about true competition. In Frampton's view, the danger to both Pacquiao's health and legacy far outweighs any potential reward. His blunt take, that the fight is a joke, echoes what many seasoned fighters feel. Coming out of retirement like this is risky and possibly fueled by the wrong reasons.
It's a joke, really. There's the thought. It's an absolute joke. I love Manny Pacquiao. Love everything about him. An all-time great in terms of what he's done previous, but that doesn't entitle you to just walk back in after 6 years and get a number 4 ranking with the WBC and fight for a world title. What about all the other guys that are waiting around? It's wrong. We seen Manny Pacquiao fight an exhibition against a kickboxer in his last fight, and kickboxers can't box, right? I've seen world champion kickboxers coming and sparring boxers. They can't box. They can kick, but they can't, and they can kick and box a little bit. They can't really box, and Manny didn't look great. I mean, yep, I don't know. The WBC, I think we have a lot of time for him, Richie O'Sullivan, but I think it's a mistake, really do, and they should be quite embarrassed allowing a 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao straight in for a world title fight.
Mario Barrios walks into this matchup with several key advantages. He's younger, taller, and holds a natural reach edge that could prove critical. Unlike Pacquiao, Barrios has been active and sharp, with recent fights keeping his timing and stamina finely tuned. Against a 46-year-old who hasn't been in real competition for years, these differences could be the deciding factor once the bell rings.
So breaking news, Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios is official for July 19th in Las Vegas for Barrios' WBC welterweight title. After 4 years off from pro boxing, Pacquiao will try to become the oldest active world champion in boxing at 46 years old and one of the oldest champions in boxing history. Now, this fight has been rumored for quite a while. They tried to make it last year after Pacquiao had an exhibition with Rukia Anpo, but they were never able to finalize a deal. But earlier this year, they re-entered negotiations and they finally made it official now. Now, in terms of the fight itself, Barrios, he's going to have a huge age and size advantage. You know, the guy is 29 years old, right in his physical prime. He's probably going to weigh around 160, 165 pounds on the night of the fight. Whereas Pacquiao, like I said, he's 46 years old. He won't weigh over 145 pounds on the night of the fight. And Barrios, he's just going to try to stay behind the jab and the straight shots and use that youth to win in the fight. Now, what I will give Pacquiao is he does have a huge IQ advantage. And Barrios' defense didn't look that great in his last fight. But still, the age is the main factor. But you guys let me know. Are you excited for Manny's return, or is it too risky at his?
When news broke that Manny Pacquiao got WBC approval to fight for the welterweight title, the boxing world reacted with mixed emotions. Some fans were thrilled to see a legend back in action, while others questioned the logic behind the decision. Mauricio Sulaiman's confirmation made it official, but that didn't quiet the debate. For every fan hoping to witness greatness one more time, there are critics worried that this could tarnish a career built on grit, glory, and discipline.
The WBC president Mauricio Sulaiman has said Mario Barrios will face Manny Pacquiao this July. That's some crazy shit, bro. That's some crazy news. Manny Pacquiao is 46 years of age. He's making his return to the ring. And he said he wants to go out with a bang. He wants to finish his career as a champion. That's some crazy shit. Manny Pacquiao's professional record currently stands at 62 wins. 39 of those coming via knockout, 8 losses and 2 draws. Manny Pacquiao has one of the most impressive CVs in the sport of boxing. Just take a look at from 09, Ricky Hatton, all the way up until here. There's so many names: Timothy Bradley, Manuel Marquez, Shane Mosley, Joshua Cloteley, Miguel Cotto, Floyd Mayweather, Jesse Vargas. Like, there's so many names on this list. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a look at Mario Barrios' record. 29 wins, 18 of those coming via knockout, 2 losses and 1 draw on his resume. What do I make of this fight? I don't know, you know. I mean, listen, this is a young man's sport. I asked myself, Manny Pacquiao, why do you want to come back and fight a younger fighter? You know what I mean? Mario Barrios, who's the current champion, the WBC champion. Why? What have you got to prove? You've proven everything throughout your career. So I don't know what to say, but anyways, let me know in the comment section what you guys think, and watch a clip of the president of WBC, Mauricio Sulaiman, talk about this.
As of now, Mario Barrios is the WBC champion. So who is he mandated to fight next? Do you have made that decision yet?
Well, at this time, Mario Barrios is going to fight Manny Pacquiao in July. He wants to retire as WBC champion, so he's fighting in the welterweight division.
Why does he come out of retirement and get a WBC title shot in his first fight?
Because it's something that WBC has respected. Sugar Ray Leonard was retired 4 years when he requested to fight Marvin Hagler and defeated Hagler. So we do have that provision in the rules. A legendary champion with the credentials such as Manny Pacquiao. He has been medically cleared, licensed by Nevada, so we have voted in favor to allow that fight to happen.
This fight goes beyond belts. It's symbolic. It's a passing of the torch from a boxing icon to a new generation contender. Pacquiao, a symbol of the sport's golden era, now faces Barrios, a fighter of the present. That symbolism adds weight to the event, but also heightens concern. Boxing is brutal and unkind to aging bodies. Pacquiao's return, especially after a clear loss in 2021, shocked many. With a WBC title on the line, this might be seen as his last shot. But some fear it's more spectacle than storybook ending.
Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel in partnership with sharpbetting.co.uk, your home for all your betting tips and in-depth analysis for boxing, football, basketball, horse racing and many different sporting events. So yeah, if you're a big sports fan who likes the occasional bet, please make sure to check out the great lads at sharpbetting.co.uk in the description below. It's me, Niall, just here giving you a quick reaction to the huge breaking news that was announced yesterday by WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman that the legendary Manny Pacquiao, the multi-weight world champion, will make a sensational return to the ring in July in a world title fight against the WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios. Date yet to be confirmed. Venue yet to be confirmed, but it looks like it will be in July and in Las Vegas. Yeah, massive news announced yesterday by the WBC president, and you know, it was so out of left field. You know, Pacquiao hasn't fought professionally since 2021. That was 4 years ago. He was 41 at the time, and of course he lost to Yordenis Ugas.
Doubt continues to swirl as people compare this bout to Floyd Mayweather's exhibitions. Many see Pacquiao's return not as a pursuit of legacy, but as a business move. Critics argue that the fight doesn't meet championship standards and feels more like a high-profile event disguised as real competition. To them, the matchup lacks the integrity expected at this level. Ending.
Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios is a done deal. Fight will either happen July 19th or July 26th in Las Vegas or San Antonio. And it's not going to be a pay-per-view. It's going to be free on Amazon Prime. Whew. We blast Jake Paul for these types of fights. And yet a current world champion and Mario Barrios is going to go after Manny Pacquiao. Listen, I get it. You get to share the ring with the legend of Manny Pacquiao, one of the greatest to all ever do it. But he's been retired now. He's already in the Hall of Fame. Manny Pacquiao did not look good in his previous exhibition he did last year either. Mario Barrios should easily run laps around Manny Pacquiao, destroy him. Why are we wasting time with this type of fight? It makes absolutely no sense to me. Listen, 147 welterweight. Me and Talani just got done talking about this in our interview. 147 is a historically great boxing division. And there is great talent in the division right now. But the problem is that guys don't want to fight each other. We don't want unifications. We don't want undisputed. And we're getting fights like Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios. Why? This fight makes absolutely no sense. If this is even somewhat competitive, that is embarrassing on Mario Barrios' part. Why are we wasting time with this fight? Listen, Brian Norman Jr. should be fighting Boots Ennis, but he chose a decent alternative. Fighting Sasaki in Japan is fine. That's still two debatably top 5 fighters in the welterweight division fighting each other. I'm A-okay with that decision. Boots Ennis finally stepped up and he did the unification fight against Danny Onis. Great. Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios? Okay, if this was for a massive bag, I get it. But you're fighting for a non-pay-per-view event, so you're going to be fighting for free against a guy like Manny Pacquiao. Why? There are plenty of other fights to be making. but yet we're getting Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios. Is Manny Pacquiao even ready to fight in the ring? Why is he? I get he still loves the sport, but listen, you are an all-time great, a legend of the sport, a Hall of Famer. Why return? Why not just go pursue other things? If anything, do those little cheap expedition fights that you did last year, or those that are similar to that of what Floyd Mayweather keeps doing. Why is Manny Pacquiao doing a real legitimate fight? I get for its world championship, but against Mario Barrios. And why is Mario Barrios agreeing to this?
Timothy Bradley gave a down-to-earth perspective, saying boxing retirements usually don't stick unless a fighter is financially set. In his view, this comeback is clearly about money. Bradley noted that Barrios is younger, stronger, and in the perfect position to take advantage of Pacquiao's faded reflexes. His warning that Barrios might finish Pacquiao isn't just hype, it reflects real concern. Bradley was clear. This return isn't worth it. The risks are just too high.
Man style, but I don't think he's going to be at danger to risk his health or anything like that, especially against a Mario Barrios, because Pacquiao knows how to fight. Whenever you know how to fight, you know how to survive. You know how to slow things down. You know how to not take risks. Pacquiao only got knocked out 3 times in 72 fights. 2 of those were in the 90s before you and I even knew him. And 1 time against Marquez, it was a 1-punch knockout. Those really don't take away from your career and your longevity. It was 1-punch knockouts. It's the beatdowns over a long period of time, for 10, 12, 11, 11 rounds. Those are the ones that catch up to you. Those are the ones that actually slow you down and are detrimental to your health. 1-punch knockouts, you can get past those. Early knockouts that are way back in the rearview mirror, you can forget those. Pacquiao's going to be just fine against Mario Barrios.